Okay, I thought I'd make a quick video today on just how to recap the power supply boards and driver board in the 8080 or 9090DB Sansui unit. It's probably about the third unit video I've made on this unit itself. The first one was on how to kind of fix something here on the driver board that kept the unit from coming out of protection mode, and then the second video was on how to repair the Dolby board. So this will be the third in the series. Anyway, pretty simple here. You're going to want to undo this connector right here, and then this whole board will basically, if you kind of grab it with both hands and wiggle it and work it up, this whole board will come out at one time. And if you'll notice here, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 capacitors on this unit that need to be replaced. And then down here on this unit, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 that need to be replaced, 8, 9, 10. And I'll tell you that these three right here are a little bit special in that they are non-polarized electrolytics. So it takes a special cap to replace those that you'll likely have to order. So we're going to dive on in, and we're going to hit this board first, and then we'll come back and do the driver board. Okay, first thing I've done is I've gone through and marked a little tick mark on the facing forward on all these, so if I take one out and can't remember which way it was oriented, I can figure that out really quickly. I'm going to get the unit stood up on its side. At this point I've got the unit kind of laying up on its side here, as you can see on the bench. It's just a matter of grabbing a cap on one side, kind of coming around over here on the other side, figuring out where the solder is at, using the soldering iron, and actually touching the spots and getting them good and hot. And I usually work one side then the other, back and forth till they kind of pop out. Okay, once you get one pulled out, you can see right here, it's best then to go ahead and use your soldering iron and a solder sucker to go ahead and remove some solder off of those things so that you can push the new capacitor straight on through here. And as you can see now right here, I've got both these holes opened up and ready to receive the new capacitor from the other side. Now it's easy to look at my little tick mark I made here and determine which way the negative was going on this. The reason I do that is, capacitors, boards are not always labeled properly. I usually like to put them back in the way they came out. And this will be a 100 microfarad 80 volt capacitor. I'll have to go dig in my box and find some. Okay, kind of dug through my bin here of 50 to 100 volt capacitors. Really didn't have any 100 volt 100 microfarad 80 volt or 100 microfarad 100 volt. Thought maybe I would, but after digging I did not. So let me show you what we're going to do instead. I actually have some 100 microfarad 400 volts, and these, same size around, just a little bit taller. And as I went and looked, you got plenty of room in here. What, about 4 inches or so. So these will work out just fine. I do need to order some 100 microfarad 100 volts, but this will, and you can always go higher on the voltage rating. No worries there. So this will work just fine. All right, as you can see here, I've got the new cap put in now. Plenty of headroom here. No worries about the height of it. And if you'll notice, I marked the top of it red here to keep from, that way I'll know I've replaced that capacitor at this point in time. We're going to just keep chugging through. I will tell you, I'll show you when I pull these out, they're non-polarized, and they'll take a special cap to replace them. Alright, I've pulled out one of these non-polarized electrolytics here in the middle. And I remember the first time I pulled one of these out years ago, I kept looking for which side was the positive, which side was the negative. Then I realized these were non-polarized capacitors, and they're 80 volt, 4.7 microfarad. These original ones were Nippon Chemicon. And what I'm replacing them with here, you can see 4.7 microfarad 100 volt non-polarized capacitor here. So we're going to put these in. I think these are Hitachi capacitors. Okay, I'm taking out this capacitor right here. And it's a little bit of a pain to get out. Let me show you why here, around the other side. If you'll notice, instead of having 3 lugs to this capacitor, 2 lugs, it actually has 3 lugs. If you look down on it, there's 3 lugs here. And you're wondering, well, what the heck is the deal with the 3-lugged capacitor? I'll have to show you here. There's positive here, negative here, and this third connection here is not used at all. It's more or less stability for how this thing mounts to the board, which I don't get because they glued it down anyway, but you can see it's kind of marked on here, positive and negative. So just replace it with any 2-prong capacitor. This one turns out to be a 470 microfarad 80 volt. Alright, what we're going to replace it with is a Nikon 470 microfarad 100 volt capacitor. A little bit taller, but that's no big deal, and nowhere near as big around as you can see here. But still great capacitor, and like I say, you don't need the third lug. You just ignore that place. And if you'll notice, it wasn't soldered to anything anywhere. That little mount right there had no traces going to it whatsoever. And then the next one here in this series, the great big capacitor, the biggest one on the board. When it comes out, as you can see here, again, 1, 2, 3 prongs, and you can see on the bottom of this thing 3 prongs again. Again, that middle one not used. This is an 80 volt 1000 microfarad. I had to dig hard to find one of those, I bet. Okay, you can see here I've got the 1000 microfarad 100 volt Nikon capacitor. I'm going to replace that great big thing, and just like I say, mount it in, ignore the third tap. Okay, as you can see at this point in time, we've got all these capacitors replaced. Remember, the 3 here, 4.7 microfarad non-polarized, which means there's not a positive and negative to them. They can go in any direction, which is atypical for electrolytic capacitors. So now that we've got this board done, and you can see what all I replaced here coming out of that board, we're going to go ahead and replace all the caps on this board. Good thing about it is it's easier because it's laying up on the bench. Okay, we're grinding our way through the board right now. As you can see, I kind of got these front ones, these 2 middle ones here replaced. Now I'm starting on these back too. If you notice, I really like the Nikon capacitor brand. They just seem to hold up really well over time, and usually get the 105 volt. And you know, you might wonder, well, where do I get all these things at? Well, I get them from places like Mauser, DigiKey, others. And kind of the secret there is don't buy one when you need it. So anytime I'm working on a unit like this and I see I need 1 or maybe 2 like this, I don't order 2, I order 10 or 20. Whatever gets me the next price break. And then I'll have them, so the next time I need them. You just slowly build up your stock over time. If you're getting into this type of work, it's worth doing that, and then you got good quality components. I wouldn't buy enough to last you a lifetime because these things can go bad over time, but buy you enough to last you the next 5 years or so, and you should be good. Just got to get this one replaced and we'll be done. Okay, you can see what it all looks like recapped back here. Put the board back in here and plugged it up, and let's see if it passes the smoke test here. All right. Yay! It's playing quite well. Good deal. Hope you learned something. Hopefully a short video. Not all of mine are, but nonetheless, we have fun making them, and hopefully they're educational. Thanks for watching, everybody.